everyone. Just getting my camera set up, so I hope that that looks pretty good. Welcome to World Card Making group. I'm doing the 12 days of Christmas, so still a little bit shaky with the video, but I'm going to show you the 3 cards that I've created, as well as these cards will come in a little gift box. I'll show you how to put that together at the end. Now, I'm not going to put the cards together. I'm going to show you the components of each of the cards, and I will have a full list of the instructions when I upload it for day 5. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'll show you the 3 cards that I've made. So I've made this one. So that's card number 1. This is card number 2. And this is card number 3. Now this one's a bit of a fancy one, this one. So it's called a sliding easel card. So you just pull on this string, the ribbon, and then you have a hidden message in there. So you have a hidden message up here and a hidden message there. Now this one I created following a tutorial from Julie Davison. I will have her link in my PDF. So I'll get going with each individual card. Okay, so I'll just slide that one back down so it just slides inside of itself. Okay, so for this card here, we're going to use the Whimsical Trees and the Christmas Tree dies. So that's the Whimsical Trees bundle, I think it's called. So yeah, so we're going to use those. I'll pop them out of the road. Okay, so I'll move my cup of tea, otherwise we'll have a disaster. Okay, so what we got here is just your standard card base. And then we've got this layer cut from the Whimsy Wonder DSP with the shimmery gold silver strips. So we're going to put that one on top of there. Then we're going to put another piece of DSP from the Whimsy Wonder, so the one with the trees and the decorations are on the other side. So we're going to put that one in there. Now, as I said, all these measurements will be on the PDF. So then we're going to run this die through the Stamp and Cut and Emboss, and we'll end up with this layer. And then we're just evenly going to space that over the top of that one. Okay, so then the next layer that we have is this little pink strip from the Whimsy Wonder DSP with the holly on the back, and we're going to just flag the end of it. Now I could do this with a punch that we used to have, or I could use the tailored tag punch, but I'm just literally going to cut it up the middle and then just cut from side to that part that I cut there. Same again. And then we've got our flag. So we've just snipped those bits out. So I'll discard that. Then I'm going to pop that one on there. Now, it doesn't matter if yours is not the same as mine. You can use any colour that you like. But there's been some fabulous creations already made by the rest of the team. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use this stamp from the stamp set, and we're going to use that in Misty Moonlight. Then we're going to use this stamp, and I'm going to show you how to line that one up. So, and we're going to use polished pink ink for that. Okay, so you can see that it's got some pink on there. You literally just line it up and stamp it. It's a little bit off, but that's okay. And then we'll die cut that through the Stamp and Cut and Emboss. So I'll just do that little bit. I'll put this ink away before I make a big mess. I keep all of my dies when I'm using them on what's called a knife block holder, so that it's magnetic, so that I don't lose them. And then we're going to chop that out with that die. Okay. Oh, I don't want to move the camera. Sorry, I've just got to take it off screen till it starts. Whoa. There we go. Pop that one out of the way. Pop those back over there. Put that back on the magnetic strip. Then we've got our tree. Now, to save a little bit of time, I've already cut my silver foil garland. So you're literally going to stick that onto there like that. And see how at the end there, we just need to trim that little one off. So I'm just going to follow the curve of the die and cut that off. So get rid of that piece. So then that one goes on top of there. I just use some multi-purpose glue for that. But I'm not going to stick it like I said. And then we're going to add this die here. It actually creates little tiny stars. So those little tiny stars, I'm just going to pop one of those on top of the tree. Okay, and then for the what do you call it? Sentiment. Oh, my words are today. Sentiment, we're going to use Let Your Heart Be Light. So I'll just stamp that in Misty Moonlight. Now I've given myself a bigger piece than I need, but that's just so I can make it get straight, because sometimes when we stamp it's not exactly straight. So let that dry for a minute while I close this up. And then we can also, if we want, decorate it with the 2021-23 in color jewels, with all of the in colors: polished pink, pale papaya, evening evergreen. What's the purple one? Oh, I can't remember what the purple one is. And then there's a light green in there as well. So those ones, and that's soft succulent, that one. Oh, still oh, I can't think what that colour is. It'll come to me. So yeah, so we could put a couple of embellishments on that. So don't put them away, Sharon. You need to put them on the card. So I'm just going to chuck one up here. Whoa, I moved the camera then. And one here. Nearly out of these guys, so I'll have to reorder. And a pink one down here. There we go. And then just for this one, I'll just get the little trimmer and I'll just trim it down. And then I just kind of just made my own angle. You can use your points that you've cut out if you want it to be precise, but I'm just going to do an angle on mine. Like that. And then that just slips in underneath there on our sentiment, on our pink piece, and hey presto, that's that card finished. I'll show you the insert of that one. I'll just move this one away. So I'll take him out of the way. And then on the inside, I just wrote, "May the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart," and with the little ornaments hanging from the top. So those two stamps, and that's done in Misty Moonlight. So that's card number 1 complete. So I'll pop him out of the road. Now for those dies that I forgot to mention, they are from this one, Picture This Dies. So you have a circular one or you have this rectangular one. So what you're left with are these lovely stitched shapes that you'll be able to use for sentiments. So don't waste those, you can use them for something else. So that comes out of Picture This Dies. I think they're on page, what number did I say? Page 164 of the annual catalogue, that one. Okay, so we'll move that out of the road. We'll move on to the next card. Okay, so the next card is this one here. Let Your Heart Be Light. I've kept with the same sentiments all the way through and the same colours all the way through, just for the ease of the video. Okay, so we've just got our standard card base done in, oh, there goes a star. Done in Misty Moonlight cardstock, that one. So we'll leave that to the side there. So here's our Misty Moonlight cardstock. So that's our base. Then I ran an insert, layer in the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So this one has music notes all over it. So it's quite a lovely one, that one. So then that's our next layer. That goes directly on the top. Now I haven't done a lot of dimension on these cards because I needed them all to fit in the gift box at the end. So the next piece we're going to use is this piece of pink from the Whimsy and Wonder DSP with the holly on the back again. So basically straight across the middle for that one. Then I used the painted labels dies from the annual catalogue. They're on page, painted label, page 164 as well. So this is the die here that I've used out of this set. As you can see, I draw around all my dies so I know how many is in a packet. So I've already die cut that on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. That one actually fits through the mini. So you don't have to drag out the big guy. And then we're just going to pop all these little bits out. If you have a take your pick tool, this will help you get it out of the die. Get all these little bits out of the road, we don't need those. With the pokey end, poke these holes out, and that'll help you get it out of the die to put on your card. And if it doesn't, well, you might have to coerce it a little bit, but I can see we're here where it's risen a little bit, so I'm just going to gently, just be gentle with this one because the cutting lines are very delicate. So we'll just drag him out ever so gently. I cut that out of a 3x3 piece of this misty moonlight with the trees and the decorations on the other side. So I cut that one out of that using this die. So I'm simply going to place that one there. Same thing again with the tree, what I did before. I'm going to stamp. Stamp in the misty moonlight, but for the fun of it, this one's got the pink dots on it, but you don't need to add the pink dots, or you can add the pink dots if you prefer. And then our garland again, out of the silver foil. Now the silver foil's in the holiday catalogue, and I haven't actually looked to see if it's carrying over. So we've got the silver foil there, and then same thing again, we're going to stamp our sentiment. So I've got a little tiny piece of paper, Whisper, no, not Whisper White, basic white cardstock here, and I'm just going to clean this stamp because I want to use polished pink this time on Let Your Heart Be Light. So polished pink. This die can go over here on the magnetic board. Okay, so Let Your Heart Be Light. Oh, I might not have left myself enough room. There we go. So that's done in polished pink. Same thing again, I'm going to chop it down with my little trimmer. What did I do with him? Here he is. So move my take your pick tool. We all start out so neat, and then it just becomes a nightmare on my table. I'm not the neatest card maker, but anyway, I think you can all relate. So Let Your Heart Be Light, and then we're just going to trim on a bit of an angle. Oh, not quite. I need just a little smidgy more. There we go. Let Your Heart Be Light. Now both of these guys, I use Stampin' Dimensionals on the backs of this one, the tree, and on the back of the sentiment. And again, we're just going to add some bling. So same thing again, 2021, 2023 in color jewels. Like I said, I'm just about out of these guys. So we need one over here, one over there. Whoop. And then one big guy up here. Oh, come on. Stick to my finger. Put him up there. Now I haven't done an insert for this card, so here's one that we can do right now. So we're just going to use basic white for that. Oh, my paper keeps moving. I hope I'm still in camera. And then same thing again, just keeping with the same sentiments. May the love of the season, warm your home and fill your heart. Okay, so I'm going to turn that over because it's a bit, there's a mark down there I didn't like. So I'm getting the ink out of the road, and then let's see if I can line this up straight without my head being in camera. Oh, that's pretty good. It's not too bad. So then I'll move this one out of the road because it's still in pieces, and I'll pop it in the middle of this one. So there's our insert. You could even stamp one of those small pink trees, which I might do that in there. And then without stamping again, we're gonna make them a little bit lighter by stamping off. So I'm going to stamp off again, and then stamp another one behind there. There we go. And that one's done in polished pink. So that's our second card finished. There we go, just got to stick that one in. Okay, number 2 is done. Now number 3, as I said, it looks technical, but if you follow Julie Davison's tutorial, I watch a lot of her stuff. She makes it so simple to do. Basically, the only tool you really need is to have your trimmer, because you're going to do a fair bit of cutting on this card. So we're going to start off with a basic white thick cardstock base, and we're going to use this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our trimmer, and we're going to unfold it, and we're going to cut from, see the 1 inch mark here on your trimmer? We're going to cut from 1 inch to 4.5, I believe. I'll just check those measurements. Yep, from 1 inch to 4.5 at the 1 inch mark. So on my trimmer, I've got it lined up on the 1 inch. So from 1 inch, we're going to cut down to 4.5. So the beauty of this trimmer is it has the markings on the side here. And then we're going to move this one over to the 1 inch line. And we're going to cut from that 4.5 inch mark again, back up to 1. Okay? Oh, a little bit further yet. Then we're going to cut between those 2 lines here. Oh, where's our 1 inch mark? About there. And we're going to cut between those 2. And this is what gives you your slider. So from there, we're going to cut down to about 3.25, I think it is. We don't want to go too far, which I just did. But anyway, so there's our little slider flap. Then we need to put a little fold in it. Now I need to check what the measurement is for that. I'm pretty sure it is, oh, I can't see my fold, 1 3/4 it is. So we're going to move our cutting blade out of the road, and we're going to go 1 3/4. 1, just lift this up. There's our 1 3/4 mark there. And we're just going to score between those 2 lines. Where's my cut? There. Okay. Oh, out popped my scorer. So now you can see that we have the poppy-uppy bit. Okay, so that's the basis of this card. Okay, then we're going to have what's the insert. Okay, so I'm going to move my trimmer out of the way. So what Julie got us next to do was to put 2 strips of tear and tape down these 2 edges. Now, because I'm not actually making that, we're going to pretend that that's in there. And then this is our insert for this piece here. Okay, so we need to stamp on it. So we're going to stamp our pink baubles. I'll just put a bit of what's the name here, because I don't want to stamp on the thing. Our pink baubles up there. Righto. Move that out of the road. And then same again, Let Your Heart Be Light. We're going to do in Misty Moonlight. Close that beige pink one up. And we're going to use Misty Moonlight for our word. Now I'm going to have to bring this a bit closer to me to make sure. Hope my head's not in it. Might come down a bit more. Let Your Heart Be Light. There we go. In the Misty Moonlight. So I've stamped that one now. And then we need to, oh, sounds like the power's going to go out. Then we need to punch a hole in the middle of this card. So what I do is I just try and eyeball where the middle is and then just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I reckon that's pretty much the middle. So I'm just going to put a little pencil mark there so I know where to punch. Now we do have a punch that will just do a hole for you, and I will be using that one in a minute. This one's called Label Me Fancy, but because we don't want to cut our edge of our cardstock, I'm just using a handheld punch. Okay, so then pretending that we've got sticky tape in here, this one's going to go inside. Oh, whoops, before that, we need to stamp our greeting in here. So just pop, whoops, come on. Just pop your card up. There should have been another fold line there, I just realised. See? I didn't follow the instructions. Another fold line at the top of this 1 inch where we started our cuts. So from about there to there. Okay, fold that completely back, get rid of the trimmer now. So because we know that this is going to fold up in here, we're just gonna stamp our inner greeting in the actual card base. So for that one, I'm going to use Polished Pink again. And I'm going to use May the Love of the Season warm your home and fill your heart. Let's hope I can get it straight. Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. So that gets covered up with that bit. But now, for this bit, we're going to pretend old mate is in here. Okay? So, under this flap here, we need to have a little slider. So this is where this piece comes in handy. Now this piece is 2.5 inches long by 1 inch wide. So just fold that in half. It's probably a bit long actually. I don't probably need it that long. Probably about maybe even 1 inch by 2 inches I reckon would work. So I'll just chop that off. Right, get rid of all this excess on my table. Get rid of that. So just fold that one that I just cut there in half. Use your bone folder to fold it neatly. Get out of the road, come. Now you're not going to see this. So now what we need to do is we need to make sure that our slider, see in the card here, see how it works? So we need to make sure that this piece here, this piece, sticks to the back of this piece, okay, with the folded bit close to the edge. Okay, so I'm just going to use a bit of Tombow on that. As I said, I'm not going to put the whole thing together. So I have the folded piece to the edge. I'm just going to check this one. Yep, folded piece to the edge, and just evenly space it so you can see that it's about even. And then this piece here is going to stick to our slider piece. Now let me just line it up so that when we stick our piece to it, I'm just going to hold it there for a minute. I'm going to stick some glue on this one again. You don't need a heap of glue, but just enough to hold it in place. Pop that back there. Now holding this so it doesn't move, you're going to stick that to there. Okay? And then imagine that we've got this all sealed together. This pulls up. Oh, I should have trimmed that one off. I didn't do it short enough. So I'm going to have to trim this bit here off. See how I've got this excess bit? I'm going to have to trim that off because we don't want to see that in our slider. I'm making this look more difficult than it really is, but if you follow along with Julie's tutorial, you will be able to see how easy it is. A little bit more. I don't want to cut my piece I've already stuck on there. A little bit more. There we go. So let's see if that works now. Take the trimmer out of the way. Okay, so pretending that we've got this all stuck down and we've got our bit of string on here, we pull that one up so we've got our insert. Okay, so that's the middle of our card done. So that's how the slider works. So can everyone see that? So it's basically just stuck on a hinge. Okay, and then for this outside piece, we are literally going to cut those pieces out of the middle. So because we know that all of these are 1 inch measurements, we can just cut 1 inch all the way around on our trimmer. So I'll just do that for you. Oh, there goes my scoring blade. So come down to 1 inch. Oh, it's a bit hard to see on that blue paper. I'll have to get up. So there's our 1 inch. And what have we got? 5.5, so we know we need to stop at 4.5. So there's our 4.5 inch mark. Lift it up, turn it to the 1 inch mark again, and go from 1 inch. This time we only need to go to 3.25. 3.25. Lift it up, turn it around, go back to our 1 inch mark. Starting again at the 1 inch, we come down to 4.5. There we go. Lift it up again, turn to the 1 inch, and then go back to 1, which is really hard to see on a dark piece of paper, down to 3.25. There we go. And by rights, our middle should pop out. And that's what we're left with. That's the piece we need. So discard this blue piece. We don't need that. And then you're going to adhere that to there. Then we've got our trees for the front of our card. So I'll just quickly stamp those. So that bit goes there. So we're going to add the polished pink dots again to our Misty Moonlight tree. Now let's see if I can line this up a bit better today, this time. Oh, look at that, almost perfect. And with the magic of television, I'm going to use the one we used before, which I can't now find. Here it is. Okay, so that's going to be one piece for that part of the tree. And then I've already stamped these two trees, this little guy, in polished pink. I'll just cut them out while we're going. Okay. Bring back the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Now, if you find they're moving around a bit, I just put a little bit of washi tape to hold them in position. You don't need very much. Oh, my paper's going to move. I'll have to move the machine back a bit. There we go. There's one cut. And I'll just do the other one off camera. So there's our first one cut. I'll do the second one. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, sometimes I have a little bit of trouble getting this started. So I just make my plates not even when I'm going through. Just stagger them a little bit. If you're having that trouble, try and stagger your plates so that they're not all starting at the same level. And then that sometimes helps them go in a little bit easier. Okay, so now we've got our other two trees, so I'll bring my card back. Sorry, I've moved all this now. So this is the card we're making. So what you're going to do is, yours won't have this on it just yet. So you're just going to flatten that out completely. And you're going to stick your two trees either side of